third part of the table. I'm just going to do a little gooiness on this. Um, First thing I want to do is I want to go to design, and I'm going to create a box, and I'm going to say, let's make it a little bit different. Okay, and that's fine right there. And of course I like to move it to center, so over here I'll say center, and then I will go back to my source. And what I want to do here in source is I want to, whoop, the box is up here. I want to move the box, the label, I'm sorry, the label here. And I'm going to want to set it up so that I can do a table load here onto that. My first field is going to be sub x, whoops, integer, and it's going to be initialized to 0. So I'll put 0, and you got to put the ticks after it. And then I'm going to say I'm going to do sub x until it's less than 3, and I'm going to put another there, and then I'm going to put a bracket and a bracket. So that looks fine. The problem here is I'm going to need to increment sub x. So that's a plus plus, which means increment it by 1. I'm also going to need to initialize x. So I want to say integer, create an integer value, x equals 0. And of course, I'm sorry, not 0, 171, because 179, because we have 179 there. And then we want it to replace that, so 179. And then, of course, we're going to come down below sub, because we're duplicating this box as a table item. We're going to move it across. We're going to say sub x equals sub x plus, and then I'm going to, whoops, that's not the correct, sub x plus. And what I want to do here is I want to find out what my x is over here, which is 100. So I'm going to go 102 just to move it past, and then I'm going to go tick. Now it says label here. We're not interested in the label here. We want to load um, what we have stored in our table. So we're going to go ahead and put the table into label so that whatever in the table will be displayed. Well, of course, we know that we have sub x. So this will be, the rows across will be sub x, which is we're incrementing on the table. So if I run this correctly, the first one should have 3 boxes across the top. I think that's 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do a run on that. And I'm going to say run as is, and I didn't get 0, 1, 2, so I've done something wrong. Form until plus plus. Okay, I forgot to put right here, I forgot to put x instead of the 179, so I'm not incrementing the box to be bigger. So let's go ahead and run it one more time. And we still aren't incrementing. All right, I came down here, I realized I had put sub x where I should have put x, because x is the field that we're incrementing. So if I run this, boom, boom, and we get 0, 1, 2, 3, which is what I was expecting it to be. Of course, ours is 3 by 3, so we need to come up here and say int y equals, and we want y to equal what we have here, 102. So we're going to say 102, and that gives us a setup there. And then I need another 4, which is a perform, and I want to put, I want to initialize sub y equals 0, and then I want to end it with the semicolon, and then I want to do sub y until it's less than 3, and I need to put a bracket around it like we always do, and I need to put another bracket around it here, and of course I still need to increment sub y, whoops, as you can see I forgot to put the colon, and then I need to do sub y plus plus so that we are incrementing the sub y. Now, another thing we want to do is we got to replace y with y. And then right here, we want to say y equals y plus the length of the back y, which is 39, and I'm going to go ahead and make it 41. And if I run that, we should have a total of 9 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not incrementing it because I didn't change this to sub y, sub y. So the sub y is what we're incrementing through. So let's try this again. And there we go, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in the next video, which I was going to try to do this in 3, but because of time, I'm going to add one more video where I do the second row of the machine and then a whole new machine just to show the jump. So thank you for listening.